Hi, you're listening to Book Chat with author Vivian E. Moore.
Welcome, everybody, to this week's episode. We really appreciate you joining us. This podcast really shows us how we can all learn, live, and thrive off of each other. By sharing our knowledge through our conversations, we will impart some knowledge whilst learning ourselves how to progress even further. Here is your host.
Hello and welcome to Book Chat. I am your host, author Vivian E. Moore. I hope everybody had a great week. I hope you had a great weekend. I hope you enjoyed your 4th of July holiday last weekend. We had such a great holiday celebration. The weather was perfect. The food was delicious. And, there's just nothing better than to be able to fellowship with your family. And I so enjoyed it. And then, of course, I had a week of vacation following the holidays. So, I've had a chance to, reconnect with myself and to get a few things done. So now today we're back and I'm excited to reconnect with you as well. So without further ado, let's get straight to today's show. All right. So the title of today's show is You Are Approved. And the topic is why self-validation is important. As humans, we like nothing more than hearing the word approved, whether it's credit related, relationships, or even that job you always wanted. However, often, our expectations and opinions of ourselves, sometimes they seem less worthy when it comes to self-approval. So how do you measure worth? Or better still, how does the world measure worth? Well, there is much speculation as to how that's done. And there is no visible scale to measure how you add up from one point to the next. No popular polls and opinions qualified to judge the measure of a man or a woman. What matters most is how you see yourself. But if you don't believe or fail to know your self-worth, how do you expect others to see what you can't about yourself? That's the million-dollar question. A few years ago, Beyonce, she had a hit song entitled Ego. And I love that song. It had a nice beat and the catchy phrases and all that stuff. Well, the lyrics went a little bit like this. It's too big, it's too wide, too strong, it won't fit, it's too much, it's too tough. He talk like this because he can back it up. Well, she may have been talking about something else. But like that song, it takes an individual who has stock in their identity to think so highly of themselves, regardless of if it's a song or not. The point is, you must believe that you're capable, that you can tell a mountain to get out of your way if your faith is strong enough. This strength doesn't come from having a big ego, but self-awareness through validation, self-love, and personal value. That is something that so many people struggle with on a day-to-day basis because, maybe they had someone to tell them, during their lives, maybe when they were in those formative years, that they were nothing, that you'll never amount to anything, because that's how that person saw you. But what matters is how you see yourself, because no one can tell you you'll never do this, you'll never do that. But the only way that will come true is if you believe what they said. So my thing is, people can say whatever they want to say. And you don't have to prove anything to anybody. Prove it to yourself. Make them become a liar. Because you can do whatever you put yourself into. Whatever you put your mind, your thought, your being into. You can do it. And I believe that from from my entire body, my mind, my soul, my spirit. I believe that. Because no one can place a stamp on me to tell me if I'm valuable or invaluable. That is totally up to you as to how you see yourself, how you fit into the scheme of things. When you appreciate who you are as an individual, you don't need the permission of others to validate you. I understand we all like to be praised, but are we worthy of that esteem on such a grand level? It's typical to seek adulations, to feel affirmation when we accomplish anything because it makes us feel good and worthy. Now, wouldn't you like to feel that way all the time simply because you know who you are as a person and your capabilities? You don't need anybody to tell you that. You look in that mirror every day when you get up and you get ready for your day. You look that mirror, you face that mirror, and that's the first impression right there, what you see of yourself. What you see in that mirror is your first impression for that day. And it determines if you're going to have a good day or a bad day. So how you see yourself is so vital. In your total existence, it is so vital. But the thing of it is that, yeah, we all like feeling good about ourselves. And not because somebody said something, that was good to make us feel that way, but because we feel good about ourselves naturally. Sure we do. And why self-validation is so critical to the human psyche. But when outside admirations are our only source, that becomes a problem. And that well can dry pretty fast, let me tell you. Not only that, it goes back to my first mentioned principle. Don't allow others to determine your worth. Only you have the right to do that. Only you are equipped to do that. But you have to first self-analyze, again, to know who you are as a person, as an individual. And that's the key right there, being an individual. You don't have to be like anybody else. You do not have to stack yourself to any level to be like anybody else. Who you are is good enough. You're good enough. And if nobody told you that, well, I'm telling you that. You're good enough. You don't need anyone else's opinions to determine your self-worth, because you are worthy. Just understand that. And when we learn to encourage ourselves and to acknowledge our strengths, we become better equipped to analyze who we are as individuals without any feedback from an outside source. All right, folks. So that is the show for today. And before I let you go, I want to make sure I give you these URLs so you can stay in contact with Book Chat. The first one, of course, is to Spreaker. The show is broadcast every single week on that platform. And, of course, it is https://www.spreaker.com/user/author Vivian E. Moore. You can follow me on all social media, and not just follow, you can like and, go out there and see some of the posts that I've made, this past week and, over a length of time. But anyway, I'm on Facebook. I am on Instagram by invitation only, and also Twitter. And you can also, if you want to see this on my blog, today's show on my blog, you can go to https://VivianEmore.blogspot.com. Okay. And if you missed today's show on Spreaker, you can listen to it on Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Castbox, Deezer, Podcast Addict, Podchaser, YouTube, SoundCloud, JioSaven, Audible.com, Verbal, and that's spelled VURBL, and also Luminary. Okay, so those are all the places where you can listen to Book Chat. Listen to it live, or you can listen to the recorded episodes starting from today, going all the way back to 3 years ago. And we're coming up on the 4th year, guys, in this month, July. Okay. And last year we celebrated. We were just a little bit shy of the 10,000 mark, but that's okay. That is all right. That just gave me something to shoot for, for this year, for this July. So hopefully we'll make that mark and maybe go above it. Who knows? We may be able to do that. And I know that I can do that with your help. And I thank you so very much for listening to the show, for downloading the episodes. That means so much to me. And it would mean so much more if you would also like and share those episodes. So, other people can learn about Book Chat and all the things that we're trying to do on the show. We're trying to uplift your spirit. If you're a writer, if you're an author, if you are an artist on any level, it doesn't matter what it is. This show is primarily about books and things of that nature, but the topics that I talk about are for everyone. So if you are, in that artistry field, then of course, again, the show is for you to listen to it, because that's what it's about. It's about motivation, to motivate you, to uplift you, to help you rise to your full potential. I had a lot of someones in my corner to do that for me. Like I said, I don't need anyone to stroke my ego, because that's just not who I am as a person. I don't believe everything people tell me, and I don't believe everything I hear. But what I know about myself, that is what counts the most. And so that's what I listen to. I listen to my inner voice tell me, you are, you can, you will. It's important. You have to hear it from the inside first. And, regardless of what people say on the outside, people can tell you anything. That does not matter. But what you know about yourself, that will always count. All right. So tomorrow is Worship Day, and I am excited about that. Last Sunday, of course, was First Sunday. Always excited about worship on any level, especially on, the first Sunday, because we get to take communion. And it's just that fellowshipping, with people with like minds. We need that, to start out our work week. We really need that. We need that affirmation that, no matter what happens, everything is still going to be all right. Okay. Because that's important. So, just remember, if you're not back in the brick and mortar buildings yet, to invite people to listen to the sermons, because you just never know what a person may be going through. There is so much going on in this world today. And all of it is not positive. You can turn the television on, or you can go to social media, and I promise you, the first 10 posts is about something that is not positive. But then usually it is followed by something positive, and we need that. We need positivity in our lives. And the way I get that is listening to the sermons, listening to the messages that's being preached, on Sunday, especially. I need to hear that, because it fortifies me for my week ahead. And if you are back inside of the brick and mortar churches, just be sure to practice safety first, because that is so important. It's so vital, because there's so many different strands of the virus popping up. I would hope or thought by now that it would be, just completely annihilated, but that's not the case. So we still have to be careful. We still have to be safe, because we don't want to transmit it to others. We may not have symptoms of it, but it does not mean because we're not having symptoms that we can't transmit it to someone, who may have a weak immune system that could, it could take them out. So we don't want to do that. We don't want to feel like we're responsible for someone else's demise. Okay. But so that's why it's so important to tell people how you feel about them on a daily basis. Just don't chalk it up to, I'll tell you later or whatever, because tomorrow is not promised. Today may be the only chance you get to say that. So on that note, I love you. I hope you love me back. Until the next time you hear my voice, God bless you, and goodbye.
Loved what you've heard on this week's episode? Well, the answer is simple.
It would mean the world to us if you could head over to iTunes and leave us a 5-star review and feedback. Spreading the word really is the best way to grow our podcast and achieve even greater things. Thank you.